What is up, everybody? It is Saturday. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. Looking forward to the new year this coming week, and we are out here on my parents' farm. I'm waiting for my brother and his 5 kids. Yeah, he's got 5 of them. I don't envy him one bit. Waiting on them to get out here, having a little family get together on a Saturday. But while we're waiting, that whole crowd's always late. I've got something cool to show you guys today, something we've been waiting on for a little while here. We finally got in, and I want to show it to you. I've already kind of played around with it just a little bit and had a little bit of fun, so I wanted to show you guys that. And we're going to see what this thing's all about. So let's check it out, and we're going to be testing it on a few little trees back here. So let's take a look at what we got, and we'll have some fun for a little bit. All right, I got this little bad boy back from CCE, and they've had this thing out on rent. Apparently this has been a very popular unit to rent for them. The landscaper guys really love this unit for doing a lot of small little backyard mulching projects, just small stuff. This is not something that you're gonna go mulch, 1, 2, 3 acres with or something like that. That's not what this is for. I want to set the expectation for it right now, but this is not a toy either. This thing means business. And when we first got it, and I'll show you the difference here. When we first got these units, so this company, TMC Kinsella, you guys have seen a lot of their stuff, and you've seen this thing on my channel before. This is the TLI 50, or 050, we just call it TLI 50. And the 50 is the width here in metric. I think it's millimeters. I think that's right. So these are made in Spain, and carbide. So this is a carbide tooth. So this is a hardened steel tooth with a carbide underface. And one of the things that is big over in Europe, the carbides are big over there. But down here in the Southeast, lots of guys run a hardened steel tooth that you can sharpen. That's pretty much what I run on the TMCs that I've got now, on the big skid steer. Also on the pre-noth, that you can take an angle grinder to and you can sharpen. Well, these right here, so this is a carbide face tooth. This is the new hardened steel tooth that you can sharpen from the top here and get a razor edge on this thing. You can get these super sharp, and what that does is allow you to cut a lot better with this thing. And one of the complaints we found, that people just didn't feel like it cut very good, and they were right. With these carbides, they're not great for cutting a lot of it, like really being productive in vegetation. What they are great for is the rental market, when you're just giving this to somebody and they're just going to take it. You don't know what's going to happen. These teeth can hit metal and brick and all kinds of stuff, and they're not really going to affect them too much. Now they do wear, this one's worn down a good bit. They've been having this thing out on rent a lot, but these hardened steel teeth that you can sharpen would be something better for the landscaper, owner operator, or a company you're sending out an employee on. But these carbides have their use too. And I would, if I had one of these and I was using it every day, I'd keep a set in case I was going into an area with a lot of debris or trash or something like that, because if you nick one of these up or maul it up, then it's useless anyway. So a carbide tooth is going to cut better than a mauled up hardened steel tooth any day. So I want to show you guys that these things are awesome. I've already used it a little bit, and these things cut. They mean business. So back here behind the farm, and we've got some applicants for grinding back here. So we got a good mix of stuff. We've got some pines, and we've got these little scrubby oaks and stuff like that, and we're going to put this thing to the test. I think the RPM on the drum, I think we turned it up to about 2200 RPM is what they've been keeping it. That's kind of been our sweet spot, is around the 2300 RPM for the drum. And yeah, this thing eats. I have already ground some big pine trees out here with this thing. I did a 4-inch one the other day over on the other side of the farm when I first swapped out the teeth, and it went right through it. So I got a handy dandy tape measure with me, and we'll grind some of these trees and measure them afterwards so you guys can actually see what the diameter is on some of these trees we're going to grind. These are decent little sized pines. Now this is not a unit you're going to go grind an 8-inch pine with, but this thing right here is no problem. If you had a small backyard of these little pines or these little oaks and stuff, you could send this one owner operator or one employee out with this machine and grind a small area and open it up. Or if you wanted to do a fence line through here, if I was going to put a fence through here, I could easily take that machine right through here into this small scrub and make a fence line, or cut this back for a backyard or whatever. That's what this thing's great for. So let's fire this bad boy up and check it out. Before we get started, if you guys are interested in getting one of these TMC Kinsella mulchers for your mini skid, or one of these Wacker Neuson mini skids, they can ship them to you anywhere in the country. Or a TMC Kinsella mulching head for any size skid steer, any size excavator, or a PTO tractor, please contact my friends over at CC Equipment. They are a full line dealer of Wacker Neuson as well as ASV, and they are a full line dealer of TMC Equipment. They can hook you up with anything that you need, and I've been nothing but impressed and happy with the TMC products. Got the TWF back on my skid steer. We've been using it this week. You guys are going to see a lot of footage of that coming up, so check them out. There's a link in the description below, also a phone number, and you can use the promo code I dig it, and they will hook you up with anything that you need. So let's get to grinding. yeah, buddy. Took those 2 little pine trees out, no problem. Let's grab the tape measure here. Let me see if I can't find where these stumps are, and we'll measure them. Here's one right here. I'll just go ahead and kind of give you guys the outline here. That is about 4.5 inches, roughly speaking. No problem with that little pine. This one was a little smaller, and I could have come around and cut this off better, but in the brevity department here, I'm not really trying to make this look pretty, but that's a solid 3.5 inches right there too. Went right through them. So these little pine trees are very common here in the South, and yeah, I went through a 4.5 and a 3.5 inch pine tree like it was nothing. No big deal. Let's try it on some of these little scrubby oaks right here. They're not as big as the pines, but they're probably going to put up a little bit more of a fight. So let's cut some of them back and see how it works. As you can see, it went through those little oaks without much problem, and even a little oak like that, like those ones we just ground, I mean, they're pretty tough. They have a really tough wood fiber, These little live oaks are some of the tougher material in our area to grind, a lot easier than the pine trees typically. So I'd say about a 2 or so inch, a 1 to 2 inch oak tree. You can see how tough and fibrous this wood fiber is, and I've shown this on many videos, but I mean it's really tough. Like, I can't even break that. I mean, it's really hard, tough wood. It's very fibrous, really hard to break up. Went right through it. So that's probably equivalent to about a 3 or 4 inch pine tree as far as overall how difficult it is to mulch, because these are softwoods. So let's go find something big, a lot bigger on one of these pines, and see what it'll do. I did one yesterday and I was very impressed. So let's go we'll go tramping through the woods here, find a decent sized pine, and see what she'll do. She can do. Let's see what we got here. That is, oh, that's a little smaller at the base than what I thought. And she's about 4 inches too. I think that other one might have been bigger. It looked bigger at the base, but I left a little bit of it sticking up so I can measure it, but still, that was a decent sized pine tree. 4 to 5 inches, somewhere in that ballpark. Kind of pushing about 5. Yeah, almost 5, right at 5. That's pretty, I mean, people think that thing is a joke, but grinding a 5-inch pine tree is no joke. So I've been very impressed with this little thing with these teeth. So I'm gonna take that on a job this coming week, and we're gonna try to see what it can do in about, I'm gonna do like 2 hours or so with it and time lapse it, maybe 4, I don't know. We'll play around with it and kind of see what it can do. I'm really interested to see what kind of production you can get with it. in a few hours. So I think I've got a place, a little job that we can use it on, maybe, and just see what it does. And we'll give the owner some free mulching for a couple hours with this whole thing and see what we can do. So yeah, I've been really happy with this thing. Really happy. Let me turn it off. Hear what we're talking about. I really like this little whacker too. I really like this. This thing is fast, man. It'll boogie. It will boogie. You turn the throttle all the way up, this thing will haul butt. This thing hauls. But yeah, man, this thing's got a piston motor on it, and she spins. You can adjust the RPMs. There's a little knob. There's a little set screw. It's on the underside over here somewhere. There it is. It's right under there. There's a little set screw behind that cover that you can adjust and set the RPMs. And this little bad boy right here, she smokes. These new teeth are awesome. They really, really are awesome. I can't wait to use it on some of the other stuff. We've got a mulcher coming for a 3.5 ton mini excavator as well. And we're going to check that thing out. But yeah, this little thing right here with these new teeth, they cut. They really do cut. But these carbides have their place too. But if you're an owner operator and you're cutting stuff, you know, pretty good bit with these, and there's not a lot of teeth on here. So I mean, they're also double-sided. So you wear this side out and you just flip them, turn them, get to a new tooth edge. But yeah, these things seem to work really, really good. Really good as far as cutting stuff. I mean, this little thing only does 13 gallons a minute. I think that's what it puts out. It's 24 horse, 23 or 24 horse with 13 gallons a minute. That's impressive. Now, again, we're not trying to do, you know, an acre or two. But if you had a small backyard with some of these small pines and stuff like that, or little oaks, or you want to do a small fence line right away through some stuff like this, this will get the job done. This will get the job done. I wouldn't want to go try to mulch 12-inch trees with it, but if you're doing little stuff like this, and you're a landscaper and you're trying to get into the, maybe try to test the market with mulching, and you've got one of these mini skids, or you're thinking about getting one, I'm telling you, you could spend the extra money and get this little setup right here and be in business. And that would, you could do a lot of small stuff like this, diversify your landscaping company, offer your clients some different things, take on some new jobs, and then maybe one day upgrade to a bigger skid steer or an excavator one day down the road. But this could get your foot in the door with some small mulching jobs and help make you some extra money. Apparently this thing goes out on rent a lot. Chris, the manager down at CCE in Monk's Corner where I picked it up, right outside Charleston, he says this thing with this attachment is on rent all the time. That's what took me so long to get a hold of it, because it was always out on rent. So it finally came back and they were like, yeah, you can take it and try out the new teeth and see what you think. So nothing but impressed. Like, mulching a 5-inch pine tree is, you know, that's no joke. That's not some toy, you know, that's not playtime. That's serious business right there. And so, yeah, this thing's been pretty awesome. You know, a lot of people thought this thing was, you know, some people were like, yeah, that's a toy or it's junk or whatever. And it's not. This thing means business. You know, mulching down pine trees like that is you know, not a big deal, or is you know, that's a big deal. You know, you run that through a chipper, and you know, you need a decent sized chipper to run that thing through. So this will do it. This will do it. And you know, where you might have to send out 4 or 5 guys with chainsaws and stuff to do all that, and then you either have to run it all through a chipper or haul it off on a dump trailer. Then you got disposal fees. You got one guy in the truck running wherever he's got to run to get rid of it. You know, all that gas, time, labor, all that stuff. You got one guy with a truck with this. This thing weighs like 3,000-ish pounds, and this head weighs a few hundred more. So you pull that behind a, you know, F-150 or whatever, you know, Chevy 1500 small trailer, down the road you go. You know, this whole package is probably less than 4,000 pounds, I would say. So yeah, don't take much. You know, one guy can go do a mulching job with this. So pretty cool. I've been, you know, when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know about this thing. And then, you know, I said, hey, the only thing we really need to change is the teeth. Let's get some teeth we can get a good sharp edge on. And they were like, yeah, no problems. We got those in, and that will be coming, those teeth will be coming stock on all the heads that run those teeth. Some of the smaller mulchers for the skid steers and the mini X's and stuff that run this drum with these teeth, they'll be coming standard from the factory with these teeth eventually over the carbides. And we'll still have the carbide option. You can still get these carbides, and you actually get carbide hammers too, like your traditional hammers as well. So you got 3 different teeth options for this head, which is nice to give you some flexibility to do different things. So I'm going to try to get in some more videos with this thing, and we'll see what these teeth can do, and we'll do a sharpening on them. I'll show you guys the sharpening on it and everything and how we do that. And yeah, really cool. So more stuff to come. Stay tuned, and hopefully we'll have this thing for a while and you guys can see a lot more of it, because I have been nothing but impressed, and this thing's been really cool to play around with. I love running this thing. It's a lot of fun, especially now when it's winter out and it's not nice and cool out, and it's nice to be outside and you're not baking in the heat. It's fun to be on this thing. So all right, let me see if I can find my way back. We're out here in the middle of the woods in the farm. This thing's great for just kind of weaving my way through the woods back here, but a lot more stuff to come. Oh, we got a lot of stuff coming. I got some cool stuff coming. We're going to be trying out a head on a 3.5 ton mini here very soon. I'm hopeful to go pick that up next week. We're going to be going back down to the farm property where that little Takeuchi is. The owner's going to let me hook a mulcher up to that thing, and we're going to check it out. We're going to mow some ditches, maybe grind a few gum trees and check that thing out. And got some other stuff coming too. I'll keep that a little bit of a secret. You guys will be checking that out soon as well. So a lot of cool stuff with TMC to come. I think it's going to be a great year, and I'm really excited about everything. So lots of stuff to come, some big announcements to come. So you guys stay tuned, and I will check you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.